Predestination. Predestination is a sci-fi, not really even an action movie. It's this very intriguing, kind of mind-bendy movie. Like, it focuses purely on trying to blow your mind, the whole movie. It stars Ethan Hawke and Sarah Snook. This is actually a movie that, like, didn't actually release in theaters, at least not by me, and I was straight to Blu-ray. But it did come out this year, as far as I'm concerned. So Predestination, I heard a lot of good things about. I'm like, it's just... and I really like that kind of... There's a fuzzy in the air. That kind of stuff. Thinking, alright, cool action movie with this kind of, it'll be like Looper. So Ethan Hawke is like a secret agent and they have like these violin-case time machines. And him and his organization, they're trying to take down the Fizzle Bomber. The Fizzle Bomber also has one of these cases. The Fizzle Bomber is like this terrorist. He's like blowing things up here and there and whatever. So this weird man-woman is like this guy really looks transgender. What I mean is that they try to hide it in the movie for later, but like it's really obvious, so it's not effective. He kind of sounds like a woman a little, and his face is weird. That was the first thing that was really ineffective in the movie. But Ethan Hawke is pretending to be this barkeep, and she comes in, and they sit down. He starts telling the story about her childhood. She was a girl, and what led to her changing sexes. So at first I'm like, well, it's not really an action movie anymore. I've gotten past that, and I'm like, oh, this could be like this kind of touching story about transgenderism, but it doesn't, that's only a piece of this movie. It doesn't focus on that. But by the time she's done telling her story, like half the movie is gone, and you're like, okay, what are you gonna do with that? Where are you gonna go? And I really can't say anything else plot-wise without starting to spoil things, which I will, but I'll tell you first. The problem I have with this movie is that it is clearly trying to blow your mind. It's trying way too hard. It's like, after a certain point in the movie, it's like, every 5 minutes, there's another twist, and another twist, and another twist, and you're just like... It came off as pretentious to me. It's like, it wasn't like, what? Oh my god, like the end of BioShock. It was just like, alright, come on. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. I'll give the movie this. It did make me think about things. I'm like, alright, so I wanted to I went for watch some explain videos, see if there's anything I missed, and there really wasn't. So Ethan Hawke gives a really good performance, and Sarah Snook gives a really good performance, but the movie as a whole, I wasn't on board with this thing that they were trying to do. There's a few holes with it, and I'm gonna start talking about spoilers here now, so I'm going to ruin the movie for you. It's like, this is like the only thing really the movie has going for it, I would say. If you haven't seen the movie and you watch this, there's really, I would not recommend watching the movie. I'd say give it a shot and see if it works for you better. That he's a time cop thing, and he can take her back to change something in her life. So the reason she became transgender was there was this guy that she hung out with because she was lonely. She didn't really get along with other girls. It was kind of weird. But then she had a fling with this guy for a little while. But then he left and he's gone forever. She never saw him again. And she gets pregnant. She's like, oh, this guy ruined my life, and now my career's ruined because I wanted to be like a space astronaut, whatever, but I'm pregnant and I can't do it. So she has this baby, and then the baby's stolen from the nursery by this mysterious guy, and she's like, no, my baby's gone, her life's ruined. But it turns out the birth, kind of messed her up down there, and then the doctors go in and they figure out she has 2 sets of reproductive organs. She's like, your female set is completely destroyed. But you have a functioning male set, so we can kind of, bring that to the forefront, and we can turn you into a man. So she takes hormone therapy, she becomes a man. Alright, so then she goes back in time with Ethan Hawke after that, because now we're back up to speed. She's in the bar, and he's like, what if I can take you to that guy that ruined your life? Let you kill him, and you'll get away with it, I guarantee it. Would you do it? She's like, yes, I'd do it. So he takes her, and then they time travel back to this point, and then she goes, and she's waiting for the guy to bump into her, but then she bumps into the old, still female Sarah Snook. And this is the first big thing that you realize, and it hits her that she is now the one who was doing the thing before. But it's like, okay, you can walk away right now and you will have a happy life for your next version of yourself in the next timeline. It's like, you ruin everything, and then she does it, and then she goes through with it, and I'm like, why are you... So she dates herself, and then they have sex. It's like, why are you having sex with yourself? That's so weird. Like, I don't understand what she's trying to accomplish. She's like, oh, I'm trying to make the girl feel wanted. It's like, yes, but you know how this ends. This ruins the rest of her life. There is no reason to do this. You can end the loop by stopping right now and just walking away, never talking to her. And then she gets to the part where, or the guy, where she leaves, where the male Sarah Snook leaves the female Sarah Snook in the timeline, and she sees Ethan Hawke on a bench over there, and she goes over, and she points a gun at Ethan Hawke. It's like, I'm not leaving her, you set me up, I know what you're trying to do. And he's kind of tearing up, and you don't really understand it. It's still confusing, you're like, whatever. But then she leaves, and I'm like, Like, she does this to herself. I don't feel bad for her anymore. And then the female one has the baby, goes to the Space Academy thing, athlete that she tries out for, and then she can't do that. And then it turns out Ethan Hawke is the one who takes the baby. Oh, I should mention that Sarah Snook, female Sarah Snook growing up was an orphan. She was, like, left at the orphanage. Because, like, one of his missions for his thing is to kill the Fizzle Bomber, and the other one is to recruit this specific girl, do all these specific actions because the organization kind of knows what's going on here. So male Sarah Snook leaves female Sarah Snook, goes with Ethan Hawke, and goes on her first mission, which is to stop the Fizzle Bomber. And she fails, and her face gets all blown up. She needs, like, plastic surgery. Ethan Hawke and after Ethan Hawke takes her to the Fizzle Bomber, he goes off to do his own thing. And he's, like, got his shirt open, and he's, like, drinking a beer, and he's on another one. And he stands up, and you see, like, the transgender scars. It's weird, because they can make his face look like perfect Ethan Hawke, but they can't remove these gaping scars on his chest. And then it shows Sarah Snook's, like, face bandage healing after the explosion she got in, and she looks like Ethan Hawke now. So 3 people are now the same guy. He drops the baby off at the nursery, and it turns out the baby is Ethan Hawke and Sarah Snook. That is so stupid. Male Sarah Snook, female Sarah Snook, bang, and out pops regular Sarah Snook. With both, I guess that explains, like, since it was so weird with the genes and everything. But that makes no sense. It's like, how did this happen in the first place? Sarah Snook cannot exist without 2 Sarah Snooks banging and making Sarah Snook. So this could not have happened ever. This is impossible. That's a paradox. And then we move on, and then Ethan Hawke finally finds the Fizzle Bomber, like, in a laundromat, and he sees the Fizzle Bomber, the Fizzle Bomber turns, and it's Ethan Hawke is the Fizzle Bomber, just all old and, like, different hair and a beard, and he's, like, all fat, his teeth are all messed up now. So it turns out when you use the time-traveling violin cases, they make you kind of a little bit crazy. It's like psychosis, and Ethan Hawke was slowly getting diagnosed with that. So by using the thing more times than he had to, started to go crazy. So that Ethan Hawke's getting mad at future Ethan Hawke, and he's going like, "You killed all those people, I'll never become you, this is terrible." And he's like, no, I didn't kill these people. He's like showing these newspapers like, "See this explosion thing here? That never happened because the truck guy, I killed him in the explosion, and he didn't go to the oil spill and kill all these other people." So it turns out the Fizzle Bomber was actually like this kind of, he thought he was doing the right thing, it wasn't just a terrorist. I know I'm talking really fast, but I got a schedule to keep. You know, it's just like, no, it's not how it works. You killed all those innocent people. I don't believe you. I'll never become you. I'm like, alright, Ethan Hawke, this is what you do. You kill the Fizzle Bomber so he doesn't go to his explosion that he's about to cause tomorrow. So Ethan Hawke kills future Ethan Hawke. That doesn't happen. Those people are saved. And then he kills himself so he can never become the Fizzle Bomber. That's how you close the loop. So 5 people are the same person. Male Sarah Snook, female Sarah Snook, baby Sarah Snook, Ethan Hawke, and Fizzle Bomber Ethan Hawke. All the same person. And that's just stupid. I'm sorry. People who think that, like, "Oh, you like Interstellar, he's in a bookcase, it's different, doesn't count, don't hate on Interstellar. Interstellar's awesome." So, yeah, Predestination, I don't think it works. I don't think it works as a movie. It was interesting enough, and I was very careful, I was very paying attention while I was watching it, but I can't give it a positive score because I don't think it, the one thing it was trying to do, I don't think it accomplished. I mean, it's well directed, technically, it's fine, it's good enough, except for the makeup Sarah Snook, which does not look, which is clearly the same as female Sarah Snook. That's the other thing. How does she not know? It's like, okay, you're clearly just a male version of me. Yeah, Predestination, I would give, like, a 4, I guess. So, yeah, like and subscribe, share, and comment. I'm Wesley Tomsky. See you later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. I am really tired.